Yes, it is nearly time for the biggest Sword and Shield set of the entire era. Of course, we're talking about VSTAR Universe. It does come out on Friday, the 2nd of December. There will be 10 packs in each booster box. We're not going to get into price because there's a different video on that coming soon. So make sure you hit subscribe because I don't want anyone getting ripped off. And shout out to PokeBeach because they came in clutch. They dropped every single secret rare in the entire set. So Editing Mounty would like to let you know there is massive spoilers about to come in this video. Like massive spoilers. Like I am going to reveal the entire body of this set to the point it's a little bit like nudes on a first date. So if you don't want spoilers, I wouldn't probably watch this video for about another week. Anyway, back to the video. Firstly, we will go through the pull rate. So there will be a graphic shown up on the screen right now. So from this graphic, you can see we get around about 6 Vs per box, and then you get 3 V-Stars or VMAX with 1 Radiant per box. Anything 1 to 172 are going to be reprints, with the exceptions of some of the cards. They are reprints, but they will have alternate art. So for example, Mew V is a different artwork from what we saw in Fusion Arts, or if you collect English, Fusion Strike, as well as some of the promos that we saw. So for example, the Zorora, the middle V-Star on the left-hand side of the screen. You will also get 3 ARs. We'll get into the rarities in a little second. You also get 1 SAR and 1 secret rare per box. Now this is pretty much the same as VMAX Climax in the sense that you will have 3 character rares, which are now art rares. These are basically the same art style as character rares, but you don't have the gym trainers or the game characters in there. You also have the SARs, which are basically the V/V-Star or VMAX variants. So they're like an extra rarity. They're going to be 1 per box. And then weirdly, the secret rares are actually going to be 1 per box as well. But around about 8 of them are actually going to be energy cards. And I know what you're thinking. Excuse me? Yeah, I know. But we'll get into it. So let's head over to, of course, the PokeBeach website, which completely saved my ass. So here, we're on PokeBeach's website. First of all, I would like to premise by saying a massive thank you to PokeBeach. You completely saved my video from being completely outdated the moment I recorded it. I had a whole spreadsheet and everything here, right here. Look, I had the energies. So the yellows were like, yeah, that's me guessing, right? We had, I numbered them all so we could find out all the pictures, get all the cards in order for you and everything. But luckily, PokeBeach were like, no worries, Mounty, you don't need to do that. We got you covered. So massive appreciation to them. If you don't follow them on Twitter and have your post notifications on, I don't even know what you're doing right now. As you can see, yes, they do have the Crown Zenith kind of logo / marketing thing on the website. Crown Zenith is not, I repeat, not going to be the same as VSTAR Universe. There will be a video coming out about that probably this week or very early next, so hit subscribe to make sure you don't miss that. But we will get into these, and we will also let you know some more details about the set as we go. So first of all, boom, Voltorb. This is actually in the Chinese. We haven't seen the Japanese version yet, but it's pretty much exactly the same, different language. Kricketune, why? But look at all the Pokemon that are in there. You got Lowtoad in the water, you got Bunnery, you got Golbat hanging upside down on the lamppost. If there's any more Pokemon you spot, which clearly you will, let me know in the comments. We've got this card actually I really love, and the reason why I love this is because there is actually another version that matches this. So a little bit similar to S9, which I believe was Starbirth. There was actually an Electivire and Magmortar, and then there was the reverse, so the same scene from Magmortar's view, which I thought was absolutely amazing. They've done exactly the same thing with these art rares, as they're calling them now. As you can see in the bottom of the left hand corner of the card, it says AR. That's art rares. So these are going to be the grey borders, a bit similar to the character rares we saw in VMAX Climax. Again, some of these cards are, this is crazy pink. Some of these cards are expected, some of them are not expected. So hopefully if you see these and you like any of them and you haven't seen them before, please do let me know in the comments. But there's Oricorio there, The next one, Lapras. You got Finning in the background, Mantine and Mantike. It's just, I love this Lapras card so much. We got Manaphy, we got Keldeo. There you go. There's the other one. So you got Magmortar. This is actually the Electivire version of the other one. The other one was actually Magmortar. This one, listen, my fellow musicians will fully appreciate this card. I love the fact they got both versions of Toxtricity. That's a mouthful. In the same card, but also they've got a Galarian Obstagoon in the background. And they've got Rillaboom on drums. It's like a nice little kind of like Pokemon kind of rock band. Of course, we've seen the Galarian birds a lot already. In English, I believe these are going to come out in tins, which I think are a great pickup. If you're going to pick up a tin in English and have one of these in there for free already, I think that's amazing. This Mew was one of the early ones we saw. Again, a fantastic one. Kind of takes you back to that whole Lilipad Mew. We've got Lunatone, Deoxys, which the reason why I really like this card and the attention to detail in these artworks is just phenomenal, because if you notice on this card, they have pretty much got every Rapid Strike, Single Strike, and Fusion Strike item from all the item cards, all the trainer cards, in the same card. And I think that's ace. I think that's a really, really nice touch to the Sword and Shield era. Next, we have Diancie. Again, a completely random one, in my opinion. This has seen a lot of play in the whole Lost Origins and Lost Abyss decks with Giratina, obviously because of the Lost Zone. So to see this get a character rare, it's okay, it's nice. But again, this is more for the players out there to jizz up their... No. That's the wrong word. That's the wrong word. To bling up their deck. There we go. We got there in the end. Again, the Zapdos, we've seen that. Also, chasing the Dodrio, I think is absolutely an amazing touch. I love Dodrio. Kanto for the win. We've got Solrock here with Volbeat in the background, which is pretty cool. The Moltres again. This is just the how do you make a card? It's a card. It's not like a painting. This is a card where the card looks like it's been embroidered. Like this just, let's just move on. That card's too good. We've got Absol, which looks a little bit like a nod to Legends Arceus. I think that's an amazing artwork. This Thievul got dropped very recently. I think PTCG Radio got it dropped into his video just as he was dropping his the other day. I think that was a sweet touch. We've got Magnezone, which I absolutely love this, with all the Magnemite kind of knocking around and the Magneton at the bottom. That's probably a chase for me again in Chinese, but we will be getting the same in Japanese in VSTAR Universe, so no dramas. We've got the Altaria. We've got Latias. Now, there's no sign of Latios, which is a little bit weird why you do one, not the other, but clearly someone's not going to be doing the washing up because their T-tail's gone missing. Goodra. I don't know why they always make Goodra look so sad, but don't worry. Starly is there looking like he's dusting off Goodra like he's a dusty ornament. This one is not, I repeat, not normal. This is actually Ditto. Dunsparce, another early one we saw. Miltank, probably drinking too much milk and eating too much cheese for my liking. It's a little bit creepy if you know what cows make. The barrel, again, absolutely amazing. Now, I'm going to give premise. PokeBeach does have this on their article. They do have it in a full picture. However, I must give thanks to my Discord, who were the first ones to post this to me over here. If you know, and by the way, if you're not in our Discord, what are you even doing with your life? We post all sorts of stuff, and we all post them spoiler free. So if you don't want to click it and it says spoiler, don't click it. You don't need to click it. But I would just like to say thank you to El Ray and also Alfie, because I will pop this up on the screen so you can see it in a little bit better quality. But this card here, and I will show you each card individually, it's a bit weird. It is a bit weird, right? Because as you can see, in every Pokemon set ever, there has always been an order in energy type. So it will go grass, fire, water, electric, etc. Right? So as we go down here, these 9 cards here are actually not in that order. This is the first time Pokemon have ever broken the order of energy types, which I think is really, really interesting. And you can see here you've got fighting, colorless, but then it goes back to psychic, and then back to colorless, and then back to electric, and so on and so forth. We will go back Here, this is where the cards are. Boom. So you got, these are in the wrong order. Yes. So Riolu comes first. Again, dashing around. Love it. You got back to Swablu. And again, some of these cards are a little bit unexpected, but I think the fact that they made them into a whole kind of page binder kind of art set, I think is absolutely phenomenal. Got the Bidoof. Sounds like he's falling down the stairs. Bidoof, Bidoof, Bidoof. Pikachu. Pikachu's always going to get one right. He's always going to be in there somewhere. Paris, again, I think a nod to Legends Arceus because they're the most annoying things I have ever come across in my entire bloody life. Turtwig, which again was a bit weird because there's no other starters in the set, which is again strange. Poochyena, Mary. Now we move on to the SARs. Now, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, there will be 3 ARs per box, and there will only be 1 SAR per box. So similar to VMAX Climax, which had CSRs, which are character super rares and secret rares. The only big difference with this particular set is with VMAX Climax, a character super rare was a character and a Pokemon's, right? It was a Pokemon. It was a Pokemon, right? So that was that. And then you got a secret rare separately, which means that you could get a character super rare. So like you've got your Ryan and your Duraludon, your Ash and Pikachu, but you would also get a full art trainer per box as well. Whereas this is a little bit different, and I will show you why as we go through these cards, because the trainers have got me a little bit confused on what exactly is going on. But so we've got the Leafeon, the Charizard, which this is really strange. So we've got the Charizard V, which I know it's in English, but we'll get this in Japanese. We also then see the Charizard V-Star. Both of those are from the Charizard UPC that we saw in English. However, what's interesting is with this, there is now VMAX. And you're thinking, wait, what? Yes. So if we go back to my lovely spreadsheet, I actually, again, you wouldn't know, I could totally have made all this up. But here we've got Leafeon, we've got Zard promo, but then I've put here no VMAX because there's not room. Again, what I mentioned earlier about the energies going in order: grass, fire, water, electric, psychic, blah, blah, blah. There was only room for 1. And as we can see in this, it is, of course, Charizard V. So where's the VMAX? Well, we can only assume that the VMAX is going to be taken out and it's going to go in one of 2 places. It is either going to go in a collection box, similar to what I've done in the past, which could happen, or it's probably going to go into the promos, which I can't see that happening personally. And if they do, they're searchable. So Pokemon, please tell me you haven't done that. Just put it in a box and please don't make it £400. Thank you very much. Next, we go into Entei. Sorry. It's jokes. Never mind. Anyway, Entei. We've got Simisear. Again, really strange Pokemon to get. But obviously, we did just see the V and V-Star come out. So it makes sense that they've kind of threw in a little cheeky alt art for him. This is probably up there with one of the best alt arts, character rare kind of cards I've ever seen. The Suicune is absolutely amazing. If this is textured as well as the way the image is showing us that it might be, with the way the sky and the stars shooting over, I think this could be an absolutely ridiculously popular card. Like, this is so nice, and if I don't pull it, I'm going to be very, very sad. There is a Raikou. We'll get to that in a second. Of course, everyone's favorite fish, which if you've played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you don't see these anywhere. If you do want to catch one, make sure you go to the west of the map and check for them diving, because I searched for 15 minutes before I realised they're not on the top of the water. They're actually under the water, and you can get to them, but there you go. A little bit of a Scarlet and Violet tip for you. Glaceon, which again we saw, the reason Leafeon and Glaceon have kind of got this SAR is because of the promo boxes they came in. Here's the Raikou, which I think the way they've captured the speed of Raikou running, which if anyone played the original Gold and Silver, this guy was a pain in the proverbial to catch. Forever running. But yes, the way they've captured the speed of this card is absolutely phenomenal. You got the Zorora VMAX. Yes, there are VMAX and V-Stars. They will take up the same slot in the sets, which is awesome. Then you got the V-Star. Again, these are alternate versions of the ones that came in the Japanese promo boxes. And in English, we've got the Mewtwo, which matches the Charizard we saw earlier on from the UPC. Again, we've seen this before. We've got Deoxys VMAX. I think it's got a V-Star as well. Yep, there we go. We've got a V-Star as well of Deoxys. Hatterene finally seen some love. I know a lot of people, especially players, have been wondering, like, is this coming? Is this not coming? Well, it's here. So there is a VMV Max in VSTAR Universe that isn't in any other set, so even in the standard set. A little bit like last year, which I think was Mimikyu. I think Mimikyu V and Mimikyu VMAX were in VMAX Climax, but they were not in any previous set of 2021. It's the same thing for Hatterene. This won't have been in the normal VMV Max, won't have been in any set previously of 2022. It's only in VMAX Climax, and now it's also got a SAR as well. These is the Zacian, the Lucario, which I believe in English is coming in its own promo box. They're a little bit gutted about that, I'm not going to lie. I think this is an absolutely amazing card. I think they should do way more in this kind of head-on, I'm looking into your soul kind of style. Drapion. Listen, I don't know what to tell. Darkrai, my boy, he didn't get a Radiant in the end, but he did indeed get an SAR, and I'm so excited. Like, I cannot wait to get this card. We go into which one? Listen, I ain't into that weird stuff, but why are you bending over like that, Samurott, man? Come on. Like, why are you being all weird like that? Like, are you trying to hit on me or something? Then you got the Samurott V-Star, which I actually quite like this. I like the fact with all the red coming up, the red and black coming up the sides, scaring the absolute bejeebies out of Snorunt. I think it's absolutely amazing. I quite like this. This is a bit of a hit and miss. Some people love it, some people hate it, a bit like Marmite, I guess. We've got Hooper, which currently looks like a very evil genie. He's managed to get himself out of the lamp, and he's now granting his own wishes. I still love that card, actually. It's pretty cool. Zamazenta, again, pretty small, because for some reason we don't have HD scans of them. Regigigas. Again, I think it's an amazing Pokemon. I think it's a pretty good artwork as well, to be fair. Nice little different style. And that's what I kind of like about these cards. There's a lot of different artists and very, very contrasting styles, which I think is going to make up for an amazing set. The Zoroark, which of course everyone's talking about. It's a bit weird. It's a bit kind of poisony kind of vibes going around it, but it's slightly gold. So I'll be interested to see this in person to see kind of what the colours reflect. Now we get on to the trainers. And if you've noticed at the bottom of the card, it still says SAR. So that means if you've been paying attention, brownie points to you. One box, you get one SAR. So you could get a Charizard and Mewtwo. You could get a Raikou or a Suicune or a Hentai. But you could also, in that slot, get a trainer. Now you look at this and thinking, okay, cool. It's got Pokeballs in there. Pretty sure that's the black and white Master Ball, which is interesting. Maybe a heavy ball. Weird. But these will be in the same slot. Now these trainers, Irida, again, these cards have basically got each of the teams from Diamond and Pearl. And there is some extra ones like this. For example, you got Ryan signing a Pokeball. So you've got a mixture of kind of cards where there are multiple characters on them, but also you've got some where it's just focused around what seems to be gym leaders. That looks so weird. Reach for my peach. It's not even a peach. Anyway, it's a pair. What are those Pokemon in the background? Actually, one of them is a hippopotamus. What's the other one? I can't quite see that. Let me know in the comments if you know what that is, because the one on the right, I can't quite see with my specky eyes what that is. Cynthia, of course, we've seen this with the Gastrodon. Again, I think it's an amazing card. We've got the Adamant, which is matching the Irida. Again, with the teams on there. As we go through these, that's absolutely amazing. That's a crazy card. Roxanne in the museum, of course. Let me know in the comments what your favorite card is. Good luck picking one. I mean, if you want to pick one of each rarity, you can do that. If you want to pick one of every energy type, you could do that. I mean, I don't know how you're going to pick one card out of this entire set. Gardenia, which has got some grass Pokemon in the card, if you notice. Chiribi, top right hand corner. Blossom, that she's watering. Melanie, of course, sees a return. All the waifus, which anyone that's played Scarlet and Violet, by the way, be prepared for 2023 to be full of waifus. That's all I'm saying. No spoilers. Volo, again, this guy is pain in the backside. We've got Alessa or Elisa, can never pronounce that properly, but she's also got an alternate art in this set. Now, this is where we get interesting because we have got two cards similar to Gallifrey's, similar to every region has had kind of a friends card. There is Sinnoh, this is 247, so this is Sinnoh Friends, and I believe this might be two across. Ping Ping. Sneaky preview. This one is Hisui Friends, so of course you've got Arida, Adaman, and the two protagonists in the middle. That's what I went back to. Professor's Research with Rowan as well also. And now as you notice, these are SRs, which is different than the SARs, right? So if we go back to here, this is the last SAR in the set. Again, it's a trainer card. You'd think, okay, it's an SAR. That's cool. But then they're trainers. When you go over here, Melon is an SAR. Volo is an SR. So you can possibly get two different rarities of trainers in these boxes, which is kind of interesting and a little bit weird at the same time. You got Boss's Orders, which again, I think this is an amazing card. This is a little bit of a nod back to the original kind of XY cards. And funnily enough, EX cards coming back, so that's pretty cool. Now here's what's interesting. These are all secret rares. You do get one secret rare per box, and yes, they are one of each energy as per my spreadsheet, but this is kind of the pattern on them, so you can't really see that there, which is a little bit weird. I'm hoping that there isn't two versions of these, because on these images you can't see the reverse, but on this one you can. So I'm hoping there's not reverse versions of secret rares, because that's just going to be broken. Can't imagine them doing that, but hey ho. You've got Gold, Palkia, Dialga, Giratina, which looks a little dark. I'm hoping it comes out better than the picture depicts, because they're a little bit blurry. And then of course you got the Arceus, which I think these are kind of amazing. I'm hoping they carry these over to the next era, because this kind of like whole gold alt art kind of vibe that we've got going on here is quite cool. I'm not gonna lie. But there you go. There you go. That is every secret rare that got dropped in VSTAR Universe. Do you think this is going to be the biggest set of the Sword and Shield era? I think so. I think so. Will it go cheaper? I also think so. So keep an eye out for that video. And if you want to watch any more, please do. They're over here somewhere. And until next time, capiche, amigos. That doesn't make sense. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.